Some of our best stories are about people who overcome disabilities. They show us the endless possibilities within each of us. But what about a horse that goes blind? Well, with the miracle of a little love and attention, you'll be amazed at what this brave creature accomplished. When Linda Northrop Keeter bought a foal sired by a famous cutting horse, she hoped for a winner, and she got one.
That's how you turn the cow. Step up there.
They named him Bud, and with her husband John's help, they easily taught him the difficult moves required to separate or cut one animal from a herd.
Some of the moves they make, I'm sure the good Lord never intended a horse to move like that.
This is Bud at one of the many cutting competitions he won. By age 9, he ranked 14th in the country. That's when Linda noticed something terribly wrong.
It was right after the Nationals in Jackson, Mississippi that I noticed a cloudiness over both eyes.
Bud had moon blindness, a little understood virus that creates scar tissue in horses' eyes. Linda took Bud to one veterinary ophthalmologist after another, but found no cure.
You don't know when to draw the line and give up because you don't want that thought in the back of your mind, well, if I'd have tried this or if I'd have tried that, maybe it would have worked.
Walk. Come on, Bud. Walk. Walk, Bud. Good boy, Bud. Good boy.
Eventually, Bud's eyes became so sensitive to light that the only time he could go outside was at night. Linda was heartbroken.
It was hard to see him in pain. I watched for his good days and his bad days and was there with the painkillers.
Horses depend on sight for almost all of their sensory perception. Linda thought a horse without eyes would be like a bird without wings.
I just didn't think there would be much of a life for a blind horse. All they could do would be to stand around out in the pasture and listen to their world go by. And I just didn't think any horse could be that happy.
First one eye collapsed and then the other, plunging the terrified horse into complete darkness. Linda loved Bud, but she felt there was only one thing to do. She would have to put him down.
I didn't feel like there was any choice. I mean, he was completely blind. He was standing in his stall and he was scared. So I called Dr. Maltman and called a friend of mine that has a backhoe and asked him to come out and get the job done. And they said, yeah, they'd be right out.
Veterinarian Kim Maltman knew that most horses never get over the loss of their sight. But she had an inspiration. Perhaps Linda could be Bud's guide.
I told Linda to give him a try because Bud and Linda were so well connected. They are like what I described as soulmates. And he was so calm and trusting of her, more than most horses are with most of their owners.
But Linda remembered Bud as he was and knew he was miserable. She agreed to give it just 3 days.
We'll give it a little bit of time. I got a feeling it's going to be okay.
I don't want to lose him.
After 3 days of soul-searching, Linda realized that she had to give Bud a chance.
And every day that I kept him alive, I felt guilt that I was doing the wrong thing. But yet I couldn't give up in case we could make something of it all. But day after day, I just kept working with him.
Good boy.
And just by sheer trial and error, I started teaching him step up and step down. And that kind of seemed to build his confidence too.
Step up. Step up. Good boy! Good boy, Bud! Good boy! All right, good boy!
Linda became excited about pushing the limits of what Bud could do.
If he could understand 2 simple commands, step up and step down, then he should be able to understand anything.
Good boy. boy.
To Linda's surprise, another transformation had taken place. Bud used to be a working horse that hated being fussed over, but now his connection to Linda was deeper than ever.
We were growing. We were just growing and growing and growing, and he was now an affectionate horse. He was now the horse I'd been wanting all along.
Bud progressed so well that there became only one more thing to do: ride him.
Good boy.
So with John by her side, Linda climbed back up on her one-time cutting champion for the first time in 4 years.
Walk, Bud. Walk, Bud. Good boy.
Sitting in
Good
Bud's saddle was amazing,
Good boy,
but
Bud.
again she wondered how far could Bud go. John suggested she try riding solo.
I'm ashamed to say it now, but I was scared of him. After all the bravery he had showed me, you know, leading him here and leading him there and teaching him all those things, I was actually scared of him. I was afraid that he would trip and fall and that I would get hurt. Or I was afraid that I would scare him and he wouldn't want to do it.
You ready to try it on your own?
But Linda felt she owed it to Bud to at least let him try.
John unhooked the lunge line and I walked him and walked him and walked him, and John says, "Go ahead, trot him, just try it."
Trot.
And I asked him for a trot and he went right into it without hesitation. I was amazed. I started crying. I couldn't believe he could do it. I was just amazed that he was willing to even try.
Bud was calm, completely trusting Linda to be his eyes. Linda was terrified, but Bud's confidence in her was reassuring.
And I thought, there's no way he would canter. And I squeezed him up into the canter and he never missed a step. He just went right into the canter. Then I had to get off the horse. I was crying too hard. To get back on him and ride him again, well, it was an answer to 3 years of praying. Be a day I'll never forget.
Look straight at home as you come around that barrel. You get halfway there.
Soon Linda discovered that Bud has another talent. He's the perfect horse for her 11-year-old granddaughter Michaela to practice on. Since Bud is blind, he always does exactly what she asks of him. Today, Linda teaches many children to ride on Bud, but that's not all. Amazingly, he even teaches the kids how to handle a cutting horse, and he loves every minute of it.
Good boy, Bud.
Linda's love for this animal is so strong that that's what has kept him going. There aren't many people that are this dedicated to an animal, and yet, and in return, I think he is as dedicated to her.
Through Bud, Linda learned that life's possibilities are endless. Love, hard work, and faith in each other can truly work miracles.
I have the world's most superior horse because he not just does it for me, he will do it for anybody. He just trusts that if you're up there, you won't get him into trouble. I'm with him every day and I still can't believe that there's such a horse that exists.